Hello, I am Precious Ramirez, and I would like to discuss effective scientific posters written by George Hess. Okay, so what are effective posters? For starters, we would like to have a kind of visual aids, and these visual aids must be really effective because what's the thing? Why are we actually making posters? For this or for our message to get across easily and effectively. So these posters can engage your colleagues or classmates or friends in a conversation. And with these kind of posters, you can get your message across as clearly, as effectively, as quickly as possible. One example here is this one. All right. So basically, this was a conference in Baltimore, and they just wanted to show how cannabis science could really be into our lives and into the science community. And if you can see, there are lots of posters all around the venue. The thing here is, if you are um, a science freak or if you are a scientist and they'd like to see all the data gathered, or you're just interested, a good poster, an effective poster can help you. Okay, it is really good help. All right. So posters can actually serve as source of information. It's again a conversation starter, and you can actually summarize your work and at the same time advertise your work without you knowing that you're actually advertising your work. So another example would be here. Okay, this is Dr. Sharif. Dr. Sharif Tabi Bordbar. Okay. When he was younger, he saw his father's health continuously declining, and during that time, no doctors could actually help them. Well, because of how rare, according to him, how rare the disease was. So, according to him, his father got muscle dystrophy, and in the article that I read, they called it muscle wasting disease. Okay, because during that time, they couldn't actually pinpoint that this is a kind of dystrophy, and there were lots of names for that one. So, the muscle wasting disease that has debilitated Sharif's dad motivated a life in science that led to an important medical discovery. And Doctor here managed to develop viruses that go directly to muscles. And with that being said, very few end up in the liver. Okay? And his discovery could allow treatment with a fraction of the dosage and without the disabling side effects. That's what we want, right? You're taking this kind of medicines, and we don't want this kind of side effects because they're actually detrimental. And Dr. Francis, another doctor, a colleague, helped fund the research, said in a blog post that it holds potential for targeting other organs. Meaning, there's a possibility of providing treatment for a wide range of genetic conditions, not really focusing or concentrating its effect on the liver, on the organ. Just to give you a quick example of what an effective poster looks like. So, according to George Hess, there are a few tips you could consider when you'd like to make an effective poster. One of the tips is to have visual displays of data. Like, for example, when you are referring to methodology or discussion or data, is not sufficient, it is not enough for you to just write things in paragraph. It's a logo. Okay, so it must be visual. You must imagine yourself being a layman and knowing nothing about the subject. And when you look at the graph or the picture or the pie chart, as you can see here, you must understand it clearly. It's nothing like a novel. Okay, so an effective poster presentation must tell readers what matters, what did you do, what did you find, what can you recommend? Okay. And according to him, please don't focus on methods. Just say the results, let it out. Okay, next is the overall appearance. We must figure out what color to use, what theme, and when we are actually referring to templates or themes, we must consider the ones with 2 to 3 colors only. We're not really making something like an origami, or it's more like a professional. Under that we have organization, and because we'd like to organize our data facts in a very concise manner, we'd like to minimize text. We'd like to minimize the text and to have the standard size text if we can't help but write. Okay? And instead of actually using text in a paragraph form, we must consider graphics. For example, here you can see that there's kind of a map, and then there's a pie chart, and there are figures, they are properly labeled. Next is don't fight reader gravity. We say reader gravity because we know people, readers, do not read line by line by line, reading word by word unless you're practicing reading comprehension or just practicing your pronunciation by reading. We naturally read from left to right, from top to bottom, and just don't fight it. Meaning, it has to be not so dense. Your text must provide crucial information, but not in a dense way. We don't like to present things, and we implicitly are telling readers, okay, figure things out, you can do it. I just wrote it there. You're on your own. No, please. Next is please put your full contact information, because maybe a lot of people would like to ask things, and they might say that, all right, I'd like to ask you via email or phone number, just so please full contact information will be provided. It could be email or phone number. And lastly, we've got to have 3 to 5 minutes of verbal explanation. Okay, it is our research, so presumably we made that poster. If we actually made those posters, we could defend our research easily and effectively. And again, it must be quick because everything's provided, so it must be really about summarizing what you learned and summarizing what data or information you gathered. So this is another example of a really effective scientific poster. You see there's a map there, there's this kind of overlapping Venn diagrams. You also have your cycle, and you have the gradient. If you can see there, second column, you have dark gray, and as we are progressing, we can see how this color fades or lightens. So it's very visual and is not really text dense. So this is like an example of a template. Right? So we are being told that physical appearance doesn't matter. Well, it does in terms of making scientific research. They must be effective, and the only way to make a scientific poster effective is to have this appearance. It's not really that heavy. It must be not that playful and at the same time colorful, right? We know that data matter and information and all the gatherings matter, but we must know how to present ourselves and our research data. This is an example of not so effective. You see, it's heavy in terms of text, no clean cut, and the columns are not available or present, and it's like a 5th grade scientific paper. This is another example. Okay. As you can see, there's there's the model of graph, there's his DNA. Yes, you can see the visuals. On the other hand, this doesn't look like a great poster to be posted. Still heavy because it's text, and the pictures are quite small. So if you have any suggestions, comments, or questions, feel free to reach out via email or phone number.